guys, it's Meg. What's up? What's poppin'? Welcome to the season 15 finale! Many people believe the more positive we think, the more we can change our outlook on life. But how do affirmations work? And I am so excited for this episode because we have been ending every episode for the past couple seasons with an affirmation. So now we're going to learn the history of it and the science behind it. So the first article we have is philosophy. Nope, that's not philosophy, Megan. That's psychology. It is psychologytoday.com. And the article is Affirmations May Improve Life Satisfaction and Well-Being. And it was originally posted on July 28th of 2023. Now, this source quoted affirmations as the definition of, they are, and I quote, affirmations are short statements that are said aloud or to oneself regularly, end quote. The article continued to say that it can be written or placed in locations that are always visible, and they said that daily affirmations are used in therapy to treat depression, negative thinking, low self-esteem, and self-doubt, and have shown improvement in life satisfaction and well-being. I feel like we need a trigger warning in there. How do I word what are we triggering them? We also need a disclaimer, but the disclaimer is coming later because I wrote the disclaimer in this time. So the history of affirmations is unknown, like where it comes from. The origin's not 100% set in stone. Some say that it goes back to ancient Egyptians who had affirmations inscribed on amulets and other objects. There was also the ancient Hindu and Buddhist tradition of mantra meditation. And then in the 17th century, French philosopher René Descartes is credited with using the first recorded affirmation, and I wrote down what it is. It is, and I quote, I think, therefore I am, end quote. And then there's a lot of psychology and philosophy in different words. French psychologist Emile Coué, I really should have looked up how to pronounce all these names. They created the COUE method in the early 1900s and was heavily influenced by the French philosopher René. Pretty sure that's what they were saying. Emile's method is the practice of conscious auto-suggestion. It is said that they had clients repeat the following auto-suggestion 20 times at the beginning and 20 times at the end of each day. And are you ready for it? I feel like I need to put in some like cool affirmation type music as a little musical bed for it. This is what back in the 1800s, 19th century, early 1900s. Yes, early 1900s. This is what people were saying. They said, and I quote, every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, end quote. And we're skirting, because tell me why the spiritual people and the witches on TikTok are always saying this. I'm on that side of TikTok all the time. I know when the tarot people are back my TikTok, my life's about to change again. But they're always saying something like this. What is it? Oh, we did a podcast episode where I mentioned it. I can't think of it. It'll hit me. Or editing Meg can come in. It's like everything is always working out for me no matter the place or time. Something like that. Editing Meg. Hey, what's up? It's Editing Meg. And literally 40 TikToks later, what I was looking for was, things are always working out for me no matter how it looks at any given point in time. Thank you for clarifying that a second time on this podcast. This person, Emile's work, influenced so many early 20th century authors, and this source actually listed a bunch of authors in their books. I'm going to be honest, I didn't write it all down. I was overwhelmed. There was like a whole paragraph on them. Eventually, the term affirmation replaced auto-suggestion. So in this podcast, you're going to hear me say auto-suggestion a lot of times, and auto-suggestion is just an affirmation. I didn't really find why they changed the term up. I tried looking up when they switched the phrase from auto-suggestion to affirmation, and I honestly could not find a solid answer or really an answer at all. But what it was saying kinda was that suggestion made it feel like a trick, whereas affirmation was more concrete. Starting in the 1980s, social psychologists have conducted academic research on affirmations, and they eventually started calling it the self-affirmation theory. Now, what is that? before we skirt though, we're in skirt. This is the Hey Guys, It's Meg podcast. So even though we are getting scientifical here, it's the Hey Guys, It's Meg version. But this I did quote directly from the source. It is, and I quote, self-affirmation theory is a psychological theory that focuses on how individuals adapt to information or experiences that are threatening to their self-concept, end quote. That's really scientific. But this research has shown that affirmations can buffer us against stress, reduce defensiveness, improve academic performance, and improve health. And we're going to put in our little disclaimer music here that we made up this season, I think it was. So disclaimer music. Affirmations don't work for everyone, and there's still a lot of scientific research that's being done about it. So take what you will from this article. I just think affirmations are fun. I think they're cool. And we're going to talk about something later on this episode that further makes me think they're cool and fun. And you know what? Maybe being Delulu is the Solulu. And that is everything I took from the first source. The second source is also another psychologytoday.com article. And it's actually the same author as the first source. But this one is The Science Behind Self-Affirmations. And it was published August 7th of 2023. Now, it had a lot of the same information because it was the same author. But it said that affirmations are repeated multiple times on a daily basis. And that they are any act that underscores one's adequacy and reaffirms one's sense of self-integrity. And then it deep dived more into the self-affirmation theory. The self-affirmation, I cannot speak this episode. I can speak this episode. We're practicing affirmations. Self-affirmation theory assumes the following. Number 1, in times of threat, we maintain the self by defending it from outside conflicting info. Number 2, we respond to threats in one domain by self-worth in other domains. To be honest, that's giving to be or not to be. And number 3, our core values play an essential role in maintaining the self. And then it went into what years of research has shown. I took down the information. I did not write down the sources they credited. So I want to say this article actually credited what scientists, psychologists, doctor, person discovered this, and it was really cited. Like, it was a good source. So affirmations in the brain. So using MRIs to measure 2 parts of the brain associated with self-related processing and rewards following self-affirmation activities, they found an increase in brain activity in these sections, concluding that self-affirmations affect brain activity. I'm going to be honest, not everything here has that much detail because after that I was getting confused what they were saying. Self-control. They said that affirmations help achieve self-control by reflecting upon the values that guide their lives. Number 3, our next one, self-efficiency promotes health behavior changes. I'm pretty sure it was saying that something about fruits and vegetables being incorporated. The next one, pro-sociality. It said that writing essays about one's own important values increases feelings of love. The next one is improving academic achievement. It has something to do with 2 different groups of students at 2 different universities and a control group and a not control group. And next one is reducing stereotyping towards minority group members. Same thing. It was about 2 different groups of people. One was controlled, one was not controlled. One was saying affirmations, one wasn't saying affirmations. The next one is happiness and meaning in life. Something about the brain, saying the affirmation so many times. The next one after that is promoting health behavior change. And it said when self-affirmations were paired with persuasive health info, it was effective in changing health attitudes and behaviors. And the very last one, which to me was the most interesting, it was affirmations and smartphone overuse. Because here's the thing, we're skirting because we have time to skirt. I have been really bad about using my phone. I feel like my screen time, I'm actually starting to record my screen time in July. And it's like every week it just keeps getting higher and higher. And I'm really trying to get it lower because I just feel like I get too consumed. Like everybody, we stare at social media so much and we start comparing ourselves too much. And it's just not good for us. And so I'm trying to back off of social media just a little bit. Maybe live a little more analog. And this was really interesting to me because they said that self-affirmations helps smartphone overusers reduce phone use by 57.2%. Now, it did give the article to go off of to look more into detail with this. I didn't want to bore anybody with too much science because this is the Hey Guys, It's Meg podcast. But I do want to look at that more myself because that sounds really cool. And those are the only sources that I took information from. There was a third source I was going to take information from literally like a .gov website. But when I tell you, it was so scientifical. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like it was just too much brain power for me to use. And I know that's bad and I should have done it, but it was just too science to the point that I didn't think it was, I don't know. It was giving too science. That's it. But another cool thing I want to mention this is a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't know when. This month, the end of June maybe even was, I watched that new Michael Jackson movie called Michael. And in it, they showed him using affirmations. Like a lot. Like not only was he saying affirmations, he was incorporating them in his songs, which also Ariana Grande is really good about that. Like if you look at her lyrics, she uses affirmations a lot. I think it was Lady Gaga too that I was researching also uses affirmations a lot. And it was also shown that in the Michael movie, he was writing on sticky notes and like putting them on his mirror or like putting them in the studio. And so many of these like celebrities, I was doing like more research, but I was looking at so many articles. But so many celebrities actually use affirmations besides like Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Michael Jackson. Oprah Winfrey uses affirmations a lot. It was saying Jim Carrey, but it was also referencing Jim Carrey's, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but he talked about it in an interview once where he like wrote himself out a check and kept it in his wallet trying to manifest money. And then he ended up booking a movie that he got paid that much money for. That to me is more of a manifestation. And I do feel like affirmations, manifestations, and the law of attraction all go together, is why I wrote down. For season 6 finale, so season 6, episode 13, we did do a manifestation episode. And then season 11 finale, so season 11, episode 13, we did do the law of attraction as an episode. If you want to go back and listen to those, because I do feel like all three go hand in hand. But I do want to try using affirmations more because if you look at all these like quote unquote famous people, like all these celebrities, a lot of them talk about affirmations and manifestation and all this stuff that is supposed to be too spiritual, woohoo, or woke to some people. But I do think there is some science behind it. And I do think if we start using affirmations more, we can alter the way our brain thinks because we're going to no longer be looking for the negative. We're no longer going to be looking for the bad. We're going to start seeing the positive in every day. And that is the episode. Crazy. We just had our season finale. But before we end this episode, we're obviously going to do an affirmation. I was debating about pulling a card from every single deck I own, but I was like, that is too much work now. So instead, we're going back to the From the Heart by Anna Stark, and we're going to see what our affirmation is for the season finale. I actually can't believe I was about to start without saying, let's cue some ASMR shuffling that's never ASMR shuffling, but maybe one day it will be. Have I even been saying that? Why do I feel like I haven't been saying that? But I can't believe we're at the season finale because I was struggling coming up with episodes at the end. I feel like the fall season I normally do, like the fall months, is so easy to come up with things for me because it's like I'm doing Spooktober and I love talking about Spooktober. But it's like every other month, I feel like I struggle. But what about you guys? Do you believe in affirmations? Do you use affirmations? What are some of your favorite affirmations? There was like a month straight where I was trying to say an affirmation every morning while I was getting ready. Did not last long. And I honestly forgot what I was saying anyways. Also, why aren't these? I just want an affirmation. I am healthy. I am wealthy. Everything always works out in my favor. I love watching those videos on TikToks where they just start spewing affirmations at you. I will always stop and watch those. I do also believe that TikTok is making affirmations more, not popular, but kind of more acceptable. Like I feel like before if people would say stuff like that, they would be like, what are you talking about? You're weird. Oop, and we have one. Cue the drum roll, please. Wait, this is actually so good. I embrace the love and power of my cherished self. I honor my divinity. Yes, I said that word right. I had to question myself. And that is our affirmation for the week. So the next time that maybe you're feeling a little down about yourself, or maybe you just want to give yourself a little boost, start saying some affirmations, maybe write them down and stick them on your mirror so you see them every day. And just know there is some scientific research being done about them, and they may or may not improve the way you look at life. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Hey Guys, It's Meg. You can follow Hey Guys, It's Meg _podcast on Instagram for updates and good times. I can't believe we're at the season finale. We are going to be taking a month break in between because I do not want to burn myself out. So season 16, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back. I feel like every time I end an episode finale, when it's a summer one, I'm always like, I don't know if I'm going to come back in the fall. And then every single time I always come back in the fall. So I'm like most likely going to come back in the fall. Let's go look up when we're coming back. I think it's going to be September 7th, unless I come back August 31st. Because like September 1st is on a Tuesday. We'll have to see now, because now I don't know. We're either going to be back August 31st or we'll be back September 7th. I guess we'll figure it out. In the meantime, I'm trying to get better at posting on social media. So make sure you're following us on YouTube. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. And yeah, have fun out there. Stay safe. Be you. Be true. You are wealthy. You are healthy. I'll see you all on the flip side. Peace out, Girl Scouts.